Mr. Hembry has filed a motion for driving privileges. His case is set for hearing. Apparently, there's a warrant for your arrest out of Middletown.
Middletown?
Yeah, that's what I'm told. But the deputies are aware of that, and they're planning to take you into custody on that warrant. Do you want to go ahead and address this issue first?
Yeah.
Your motion?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have the authority to grant occupational privileges. The only thing I can do after the first 3 years of the suspension are up is I can either terminate it or do nothing. By law, I'm not permitted to modify and grant the privileges you're requesting. Do you know how long the suspension was?
10 years, Judge.
10 years, okay. So anything from the state?
Judge, the defendant went to prison for 3 failures to comply, 3 separate events. Frankly, I think he should be happy that his license was not suspended for his natural life, because I think, frankly, that is what should have happened. He has zero respect for the law, and I say that not only because of his failure to comply convictions, Judge, but you released him in 2024. You gave him judicial release, so you let him out of prison early. November of 24, I should say, he was charged with driving under suspension November 25th of 2024. He was charged with failure to stop after an accident November of 24, which of course would have been means he was driving while the suspension was active. He was charged July the 8th of 2025 with driving under suspension, again driving while this suspension was active. The warrant he has for him right now is for driving under suspension, again driving while this suspension is active. He also has been charged with a felony for theft in Clark County, I believe, on 7/15 of 2025. So you let him out of prison early, despite the fact that he ran 3 times from the police, and the way he pays that back is to continue to drive despite the fact that you suspended his license. So I think there's absolutely no basis whatsoever to consider terminating the suspension. I think it should remain as it is.
Okay, is there anything you want to say?
I understand all this is happening, strides in getting my life together. I keep making strides and trying to do better and be better. I have a lawyer hired from Middletown, so I don't know why I have a warrant.
You have a what?
A lawyer, the Tyrone Borger, I'm sorry, I thought I turned this off. Actually, I think that was my lawyer that just is calling, but I have a lawyer hired from Middletown, so I don't know why I have this warrant. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to just reschedule this for a later date. You get your matter resolved in Middletown, and I'll have Bethany contact Mr. Borger and see if we can set a date when he's here, you're here, and the state's here.
Judge, just for I'm not sure you're aware of this, but just today I received notice of a violation hearing for him, a preliminary probation violation hearing for him in the next few days.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know if you want to schedule this for the same day, is why I mentioned it.
Yeah, we'll set that out too. So we'll have that violation hearing, and we'll address this at the next hearing. All right, that's all.
May I have 5 minutes with the deputy and Miss?
Once he takes you into custody, we'll chat, okay?
Okay.
Well, we have worked really hard since I've been associated with him to avoid these legal controversies that seem to have plagued him.
Okay, we're here for a final violation. Want to proceed?
He's going to admit to the violation, and then we'll offer mitigation if that's okay.
Yes. Ms. Hyatt?
Your Honor, I was the one who actually handled Mr. Hembry's cases back in 2020, and it's just, he was sentenced to a total of 4.5 years in prison because of the fact that every time we released him, he picked up a new failure to comply the year of 2020. His actions were extremely reckless, and it just, at that time, it just was getting to be ridiculous because it's one of those situations where he's kept doing it and doing it and doing it despite getting caught every time and indicted. And I just didn't want to have to look at another family in the eye and say, well, you know, we just kind of gave him probation or something of that nature if he wound up killing somebody because of the way he just was driving. So I know that he's been out since 2024. This is his second PV since his judicial release. I mean, he picked up supposedly a theft charges when I had in my notes. I'm just at that point though, you know, he had the benefit of being released on judicial release and wound up having 2 PVs. I know the recommendation is to keep him on community control because I know Officer Martinez says he's doing well. My issue is that he's 2 PVs to me isn't, and I would recommend that he be revoked and just serve out his time because he has quite a bit of time, I believe, that he's served towards the 54 months. But that's all I had.
Anything on behalf of Mr. Hembry?
Couple things, Your Honor. I have been representing Mr. Hembry for a few different matters over the past couple years. I can certainly, I don't say this lightly. He went to Emerge over in Greene County, which was a treatment program. And he came out of that a very different individual. He stopped driving. He's got a job. He stayed clean. We just went through a sentencing over in Clark County. That was the theft charge. And it was a kind of a odd set of circumstances, not to go and relitigate that, but ultimately over there, that judge put him on probation as well because of the odd set of circumstances. Bottom line is that the prosecutor said that the probation officer indicated that he's doing well. He's doing as well as I've seen him in the couple years that I've represented him. He's paying me. He's paying on his fines and court costs. He's doing everything that I have asked him to do. Not that I'm the catalyst for this, but it seems to me that he has finally got through what he needs to do to get away from all of this. Obviously, we're here for a probation violation, and I think that the fact of the probation violation is the charge over in Clark County. It has been disposed of, and I'd represent to you again that he was given probation for that. We had asked for him to be able to continue on.
Okay. Anything you want to add to that, Officer Martinez?
I would just add that while I understand the probation violation does cover quite a few violations that are not light, I have worked with people like Terry Hembry who have a significant criminal history, and I do not see the level of success that he has provided. I do believe with additional accountability, we can see more positive change from Terry, but I believe that will only happen if he's on probation for an extended period of time. So I would be recommending that he would be extended to the 5 years. We've built a pretty good rapport, and I'd be happy to continue working with him and ensuring that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. I know that not driving has been very difficult for him, but he has utilized some coping skills that we've been working on, that he's been working on with treatment, that's working for him. And so I would say, while we are here on a probation violation, we're making some success. And I think that's what probation is about, is making sure that we're not only holding them accountable, but we're providing tools that he can use for years to come. And I'm hopeful that he will not show up back here if he does what he's supposed to be doing.
Okay, anything you want to say, Terry?
I just want to say I appreciate you for giving me judicial release in 2024. I've actually learned a lot, and I've came very far in life since then. I know I had some bumps in the road, but my life is beautiful now, and I wouldn't give it up for anything. I just hope and pray you let me continue doing what I'm doing.
Okay. I remember seeing you come into recovery court one day, and you looked like a school principal. You had, for lack of a better word, cleaned your act up significantly. Sometimes those glasses make you look a bit more impressive. But you did. I just thought, wow, what a change since he first started this. And then you slip back into the old ways, and we've heard all about that. You've also heard about the good things, and you've got a probation officer here recommending that you stay on community control. I've seen the prosecutor go far beyond what she did today to get somebody to sent back to prison. And, you know, I don't intend to send you back to prison. I'm not going to do that. But somehow you've got to get the point that you can't just keep getting charged with driving under suspension. And most importantly, you can't relapse. If you can avoid those two things, you're going to be a positive member of society, not just neutral. You're going to be positive. You're a very capable person. You've got some obstacles, as your attorney pointed out. You know, I don't know. I know there are ways to deal with that. One is just moving to a place where you can have public transportation more accessible. Sounds easy, but it may not be. But there are ways to deal with it. And what's the longest suspension you have?
What do you mean?
Your license are suspended,
10
right?
years.
10 years? Okay. How long has it been since you've had a DUS?
Almost 6 months.
Okay. At some point in time, who suspended your license besides me?
Nobody. Just the DMV for 12-point suspension.
Okay. But your hard suspensions are from this court. Someday come back to the judge that's here and say, you know, I've got 2, 3, 4 years that I haven't had a single issue. Can you terminate these suspensions? After 3 years, they can be terminated. There's no requirement that they be. So anyway, I'll continue him on community control, require you to continue your treatment. Is that satisfactory, just continue the treatment that he's in?
I would ask that he continue individual therapy and medication management.
Is that what he's in now?
Yes.
Okay. When does his probation terminate?
I don't have that information with me.
Okay. We can extend it if there's a problem.
Okay.
If a problem pops up, we can extend it. If there's no problem, it's a little more incentive for him to fully comply.
Okay.
Your Honor, if it helps, he was given judicial release on February 15th of '24, and he was placed on 3 years of community control then,
That'd be February 27.
right? Would
Yeah.
be if we stayed at 3 years.
Okay. Well, I leave on February the 6th of the 8th is a Monday, I think. So maybe that last week of February, if you come back, we'll at least look at it again.
Yes, sir.
But you know, if you go another 6 months with a spotless record, we'll see how it goes. It may be that you need it to be extended for a year, maybe not, I don't know. But we'll address it at that time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that's all. Anything else, Ms. Hyatt?
Okay, so for the hearing on driving privileges that he filed pro se, we're just gonna deny that now and then wait until like February or so to
Yeah,
revisit?
I don't have any jurisdiction over I don't have the authority to give you driving privileges for failure to comply. I can terminate the suspension is the only thing I can do, but I can't do that for 3 years. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.